As with every aspect of photography, having the right tools makes all the difference in the world as to how effective you can work and the quality of the results that you can produce. And here, on the 5th day of my wildlife and landscape shoot in Costa Rica in February, I have really come to appreciate the importance of one of those tools, and that is the Better Beamer. The Better Beamer is a projection flash unit. It's for doing daylight fill flash with long lenses. The reason you want it is that you have to do fill flash when you're shooting in the rainforest, in the jungle, anywhere where there is insufficient light to illuminate your subject. And here in the rainforest, there are deep shadows, brilliant light behind the subjects, and if you work without fill flash, you're not going to be able to see anything other than silhouettes. The purpose of the beamer is to project that fill flash so that it reaches further than a flash ordinarily might reach. A typical flash gun like this Canon 550EX will reach out somewhere in the range of 20 feet with normal usage. But with the beamer, you can extend that 2 to 3 times, so you can reach out to 50, 60, out to as much as 80 feet. And the way it does this is through the use of a Fresnel lens, and this attaches with a couple of pieces of Velcro to the front of these extensions, and the extensions attach to the flash with a little bit of elastic material. I've even used the beamer at 100 feet and beyond, because what it does is it puts a catch light in the eyes of the animal that you're photographing. So I've used this in Yellowstone with buffalo. I've used it in Algonquin National Park up in Canada for moose photography. And when we look at a photograph of an animal, or a human being for that matter, what we're looking at is the eyes. The eyes are what needs to be in focus, and the eyes is where we look first. And if there is a catch light in the eye, that makes all the difference in the world in making that image look animated. And if the eyes are dull, it really detracts. So what you do is you set the flash gun to the manual 50mm setting. Do not set it to zoom, because this will do the concentration for you. You dial in an appropriate amount of flash compensation, and I typically work at about -1 2/3 stops. So you dial that in either on the flash gun or on your camera, however it works best for you, about -1 2/3 stops, and this will now allow you to reach out to most animals, and I think particularly birds are where this is most useful, because they're in trees with hot backgrounds and deep shadows, and it allows you to reach out and get within the comfort zone or the safety zone of most animals. 15, 20, 25 feet just isn't enough. So when you combine it with a lens like this, and in this case I'm using the Canon 100 to 400 IS zoom, so at 400 millimeters or even 400 millimeters with a 1.4 extender, with a reasonably powerful flash gun and with a Better Beamer, you're able to fill in the shadows. And here in this example, you can see the difference that it makes. In one, you have hot highlights, almost a silhouette effect, very little detail in the foreground shadow in the subject that you want to shoot. And yet here, where the Better Beamer has been used, you're able to see detail, you're able to see color, and whether or not it's a good shot aesthetically is another matter, but this is the tool that you need for shooting in the rainforest, certainly, and I've used it extensively, even out in the open. So let's look at how the Better Beamer is packaged. The pieces simply come in a small baggie, and you assemble it in just a matter of seconds and attaching it to your flash gun. There are a couple of different models available, one for smaller sized flash units, the other for larger ones. Better Beamer is not the only brand of projection flash unit that's available on the market. There are others. I'm partial to the Better Beamer because it collapses down to such a small size. It's so simple. I can have it always in the outside pocket of my camera bag. These are available from a number of different sources. Art Morris's Birds as Art website has them available. They're also available from naturephotographers.net. They cost somewhere in the $40 US range, and my suggestion is that you buy a couple of them because although they're virtually indestructible, they will get lost. You'll be standing on the edge of a cliff, the wind gust will come along and blow off the Fresnel lens. You're going to lose a little bit of elastic material. So a couple of these, and this is a tremendous, inexpensive investment to improve your nature and wildlife photography. Better beamer, worth having.